Well, now we have live on the interwebs. This is El Viejo Toro of the Fancy Action Now, and this is my end of gen video. So I was just kind of visualizing and thinking about this video, making this video, and I've been thinking about a lot about collecting and the end of this generation and how that should affect us, because this doesn't come around quite often. It's kind of like a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse more so, where every once in a while the movement in the heavens changes and it creates a time of significance. And the end of one generation, particularly this one and the next gen, always is chaotic and transitional. And again, I'm not an early adopter of the consoles. I usually like to wait till that next year. Again, I have all these consoles and all these games. I'm not thirsty for that new console like some people are. And then some people run like a new channel, you know, a video game, like they're cutting edge. They're looking at the, you know, the latest releases, you know, that kind of thing. You know, it's like that. This channel isn't like that. We cover current things, and we cover trends, and we cover gaming news, but we do a lot of retro as well. So it's like this channel isn't necessarily tied to having the new console. I noticed like some videos of a lot of channels I'm a fan of, they're like, oh, I got one. Oh, I got one. I'm an early adopter. I'm a, you know, and that was like a big deal. And that's cool. I mean, that's going to generate a lot of excitement. I thought about that too. Like, do I want to be the guy that gets in as early as possible? I was granted like early access to both consoles, and I spend, you know, I have a lot of systems. I have a lot of stuff. So I tend to get those invites. You know, I'm on Ultimate. I'm on, you know, PS4. I have an account there as well, and it's just like, you know, I tend to get those invites. So I could have jumped in, but I'm like, man, I don't even want to go there yet. There's not even anything really out yet, except that I can hold this big piece of plastic up and go, yeah, see me, look at me. And I'm like, that's good. I mean, I like that. Did I watch some people that got a system and unboxed it? Yeah. I love video games, man. Of course I did. Let me get the chatty chat up, just in case. So, but I thought to myself, you know, what does this mean for collecting for Xbox One? Yes, it does happen. And PS4. So there's going to be, this is the Xbox One version of this video because this is the easiest one to do. The Xbox One is by far the smaller collection. I have way more PS4. I think the PS4 was a amazing system, on par with the PS2. It was a monster. There is so much indie crap on there, and limited run and experimental titles, and that game system sold so well. From a gaming variety, from like the biodiversity of gaming, it was huge. Unfortunately, like the Wii was all shovelware, but for PlayStation, a serious gaming console, it was a watershed of games and development that's still going on, but we are transitioning. So basically, I think the theme of both of these videos, and this is specifically to the Xbox One, love that system, love the interface, love Game Pass. And you know what's ironic about the Xbox One and why I don't really have, you know, when you think about a collection, this is a nice collection, but it's not exactly like, you know, insane. So there's exactly 66 titles here. 66 titles. Not exactly the biggest collection I own, and it's the current gen. But the thing about the Xbox One is I wind up playing a lot of 360 on the Xbox One. And I appreciate that. They saved me a lot of money, and you don't have to rebuy the game and all the rest of it. They got very friendly to gamers in the back half of this generation. They were ruthless in the first half with the DMCA and Kinect, and it was just a mess. But this system toward the back half really became my go-to. I mean, the Xbox One is my go-to system, to be honest. And sometimes that's tough, and you just have to ignore it and go to the PS4 because it's just not there. It's just not here. It's kind of like a favorite neighborhood that you have, where you work near a really beautiful neighborhood or area. They're not always going to have everything. Sometimes you got to go to the hood to get the best deal, baby. You know what I'm saying? But all I'm trying to say is there is some really choice gaming here. It definitely was the lesser of the two systems, but now is the time. Here's the message. I'll finally get to the point. Now is the time to collect this gen, especially for Xbox One. These prices are on the floor. Now you're going to start seeing these in pawn shops and Goodwills as people kind of divest out of that old generation and go into the new generation, or they transition from Xbox One to PS5. You're going to start seeing the prices of Xbox One games kind of hit bottom. And because, see, the difference is market penetration. Market penetration. Video games have penetrated the market far more in this last gen. The PS4 is responsible for that. Nintendo Switch is responsible for that. But you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a gamer now. It used to be niche-y, it used to be kitschy, it used to be they were gamers, they were dorks, they were guys that didn't have girlfriends, and I've always had girlfriends. So don't worry about that. But I've always been a gamer. I've never had trouble with having a girlfriend, baby. All right? I'm just saying. Now I work out too, and I'm big as outside. But anyway, what I would say is gaming's never been bigger. So you're not going to have that value crash. You know what I mean? You're not going to have that value crash where all of a sudden you're walking in and Wii titles are $1, and you're seeing, and you can't find that with Wii anymore. Remember, it's like, I remember when Wii was just, they were just giving it away. It was like 50 cents, whatever you want, bargain bin, a 10 for $1. I mean, it was like they were just giving that shit away, and now they're like, oh no, it's got Mario on it. Oh, I see Sonic's on it. Oh no. You need to pay only in silver bars. It's like, bro. So all gaming, I'm noticing this, all gaming from all generations is increasing in value because the market penetration has increased exponentially. And that means that causality, the demand goes up. More people are looking at collecting. More people are collecting retro. That means the scarcity increases, or the perception of scarcity, and the genuine scarcity. I mean, at some point in time, these games are going to be 10 grand a piece. I mean, Rule of Rose. What Rule of Rose, okay? Or Eliminate Down. I mean, Eliminate Down is a complete cartridge for the Mega Drive that runs between $2,000 and $5,000 complete. Snatcher, okay? I watched Snatcher go from 50 to 250 to 500 to 1,000 and above. For frickin' Snatcher on the Sega CD. Okay. I mean, I know it's Hideo Kojima. I know it's cyberpunk. I know it's Blade Runner-esque. I know it's cool. But shit, I've played Snatcher. It is not worth $1,200, okay? Yes, it has some Capcom references and Easter eggs. Wow. All right. Anyway. So, all I have to say is, like, for the Xbox One, I can go through this collection. It's only 66, so I can go through this collection. But this is the time to get Xbox One. I mean, you're going to be finding these for $5. I mean, just current gen. I mean, I'll give you an example. Well, let's go down the list here. So I'm just going to go over them all, man, because I love talking about video games. How about that? Now, I got this little weirdo little... Let me wipe it down because it's dusty. Dusty, bro. Dusting is my weakness, bro. I just don't want to dust. So, and for some reason, maybe it's because I'm just like a house that I generate a lot of dust. So anyway, Rogue Trooper Redux. Rogue Trooper Redux, okay? This game, I highly recommend it. I just bought the disc copy to play it. And I ordered it, and I didn't know if it was going to be disc only. It was one of those ones where you kind of roll the dice, and it was low price, and it was just like, I think it was like a Goodwill one, or one of those ones where it's just kind of blind, and it just has the, you know, the product image on there. And so all I got was a disc. But what a disc. I totally recommend Rogue Trooper. Love this game. So it's got a ton of personality. And another disc-only copy, and it was another, and it came in this. It came in this. And I thought it might be complete, it might not be complete. It was a roll of the dice. Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. And I understand that this was not really a huge hit, but Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, again, it's an RTS, and it's one of the most popular groundbreakers ever. And I thought, well, it was a cheap copy, so I got a disc-only copy of it. Like, whatever, brah. So I really should get like physical copies of both of those. I really, especially Rogue Trooper. I'm sorry, Rogue Trooper over Baldur's Gate. Yes, that's just me. That's just my taste. Code Vein, the ultimate weeb game on the Xbox One. Code Vein. If you're a weeb and you don't own this and you have an Xbox One, you're missing out, baby. It's okay. I played it. It didn't grab me. It was okay. It just seemed a little bit grindy and annoying. You know, it just did. It just, the weebness was not enough to keep me in. You know what I mean? All right. The Evil Within. It's very good. We all know this game. It's great on the Xbox One. It is available. Typically, it is available, especially with the acquisition of Bethesda. It's on Game Pass. Great. Gears of War and Rare Replay. I've heard so many people that are not big on the Xbox One say the only reason to own the system is for Rare Replay. I see the point to that. I mean, it's a treasure trove of classic gaming. So when I saw this double set, I'm like, you can't pass that up. You got Gears, you got Rare Replay. I mean, what a combo. That's a lot of gaming in one disc. I'm impressed. I think that is a oh, and it's the ultimate edition of Gears of War. So you get the best edition of one of the greatest Microsoft games of all time, plus Rare Replay, like the catalog of rare and famous Rare video games. I mean, I think I picked that up for like 5 or 10. I don't even think I paid $10 for that. That's a lot of gaming. Evil Within 2, it's still sealed, and I understand that this is the better of the two. I'm pretty sure it is, and it is a unsung classic. It's not really unsung, but it is a survival horror classic. So, The Evil Within 2, I can't wait to pop this in. Dying Light, and this is one of my favorite games on the system. I played this for hours and hours. If I wouldn't doubt, I didn't look at the clock, but I wouldn't surprise if I played 80 hours. Like, once you get into Dying Light, that gaming loop is just absolutely fantastic. And it looks great. It looks great on the Xbox One. Plays great. I picked this up out of curiosity. It's the console. Didn't pay much for it, but it's not my cup of tea. It's like very story-driven. It's very, very Victorian and overacted, to be honest. Like, overacting, it's something about really over or bad acting really just kind of, I'm just like, oh no, I can't. And I won't go back to it too. It's like being car sick, you know. It's like, oh, okay, I don't want to go in a car for a little while, you know. It's like that. All right, I picked this up fairly recently, but it's Prey, and this includes the Cosmonaut Shotgun Pack. Prey. Great game. Have not played it yet. Really need to. I mean, this is one that everybody, including the internet, continues to tell me that I need to play. And that usually means that I'll get into it and just wreck it. Maybe it's today. Maybe not. Let's keep going. Mortal Kombat 11. Probably one of the best Mortal Kombats ever made. This is a crazy good game. I loved it. I love all the extra guys. You know, the Terminator and Rambo and all kinds of really, really cool. And again, I picked this up used, like $5. $5. A lot of these games are $5. Some of them are 10, but a lot of them are $5 on the Xbox One. The Xbox One's always cheaper. I mean, if you have and like an Xbox One, a lot of times I will go and look, you know, if it's a current title or if it's something on eBay or Amazon, and I'll look at it and it'll be the exact same game on either the PS4 or the Xbox One. The Xbox One is sometimes $10 cheaper. Sometimes it's half the cost. Half the cost. And I'm like, well, I like Xbox One. Give me that version, right? So there are some versions I have on the Xbox One that I just don't have on the PS4 because they were so reasonable. Dishonored Definitive Edition. I just picked this up and it was $5. Mad Max, probably one of the best games that I can highly recommend on the system. Mad Max is an outstanding game. Brutal, physical combat, fantastic driving mechanic and upgrades and liberating territories. It has that kind of Ubisoft where you go and you have to go up in a balloon like a tower and you have to look around and find all the points of interest, and there are specific enemies and leaders in areas, and you have to hunt minefields. That's the most that's the fetchiest quest ever. You have to get a specific vehicle that has the dog in there, dog meat or whatever they call them, and he has to alert you to the minefields in each territory, and each territory has about 3 of them, and you can usually pick them out from the side of the road because they have char marks and there's like blown up cars, but sometimes they're very hard to detect. So you have to wait till the dog barks, and then you have to like look around, and then you have to creep drive till you find it. The dog's head point you in the direction of where it is. So that is a kind of a strange, fetchy quest in that game. It's not terrible. It actually takes a little work and effort. Yeah, I mean, to clear all the minefields and all the territories is quite an achievement. And it is an achievement, but it's a platinum, but it is quite an achievement. All right, Pass Cure. I saw this. It looks interesting. It's obviously story driven. There's some kind of infectious thing. It's got Game Award badges up here. So I don't really have an opinion on this game. Does anybody have an opinion on Pass Cure? I don't. Oh, it's sealed too. Yeah. Boom. I got these at Goodwill, the 2 FIFAs. There's Ronaldo. I got the 2 FIFAs at Goodwill for like $1.50. $1.50. FIFA 16, FIFA 17. Okay. I'm a soccer fan too, but I like to play. I don't like to watch it. Batman from Telltale. Batman, the Telltale series. I'm actually kind of interested to look at this one and play it. So, Batman, the Telltale series, man. Yes! Okay, now this bad boy. For those of you who have not played this, I waited a long time to play this. I started about 2 weeks ago. I still don't have it done yet. I got to go back to it. But I know it's going to pull me in for like many hours. So I've been kind of just like holding off until I just have a block of time where I can just sit there and close this thing out. It's going to take me a little while longer, about halfway through. And it is a wonderful game. It's a wonderful survival horror game. Yes, it is reminiscent of PT. No mistake. No mistake. It is very reminiscent of PT. Not a bad thing, though. Not a bad thing. So you took a little idea, you took a little license, and you knocked it out of the park. It's a great game. It is classic. It is first person. but it is a horror masterpiece. It is a survival horror masterpiece. It is a wonderful, wonderful game, and I recommend that you play it and get it if you don't already have it for any system and any platform. Get this bad boy. Thank you. Valkyria. What is it? Revolution. I hear this is not very good. The series is very popular and beloved. Yeah, I understand that this is not the... I'm going to like turn that down a little bit. There you go. It is not as well received as the other entries in the... I've never played a one of them. I know that they're very good. I've never played a one of them. There's fan service, a little bit of fan service in the Valkyria games. I understand that they have a wonderful pedigree. It's a Sega game, so it's probably right up my street. And whenever I get to it, I'll get to it. It's just not a burning priority, if you know what I mean. One of my early titles on the system, one of my favorite titles on the system, is the Skyrim Remaster. Again, it's fantastic. Get it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. It plays great. It looks great on the system. You know, I'm always going to be a Skyrim fan. I mean, that's just, it is what it is, baby. Boom. Homefront: The Revolution, one of the most unsung games in general and on the system. Please watch my video. It's one of my more popular videos. Why Homefront: The Revolution is genius, and it absolutely is. And it is predicting the future that is unfolding in front of us right now, with the exception of it's not North Korea, because North Korea was added because North Korea is a proxy of China. So it was really meant to be China who invaded the United States and put us under a totalitarian regime, not North Korea. But they used North Korea so they wouldn't offend the Chinese government. Now, regardless of what you feel, how you feel about that, understand that the North Koreans in this game are proxies of China. But that does not change this game from being an amazing game. It is absolutely prophetic, and you need to look at this game and play this game and give it its due. It is better than anything Ubisoft has been running out the door recently. Again, by Deep Silver, and we know what they produce, and they do a wonderful job, and this game is no different. It is an amazing game. There's a parkour element, there's a stealth element, there's a straight up combat element. I mean, it is great. All right, again, I picked this up super cheap. Torment, Tides of Numenera. This is just not the maps in there, and everything, and all kinds of little paper swag, and so I guess I'll pull it out. Should I pull it out? There's the map. Bonus Mind Forge, Synth Steel, plating. So it just kind of reminds me of like a poor man's Phantasy Star, but I don't know. It's just not my cup of tea. That top-down vibe, and it's just not my cup of tea. I mean, this is a great game. This is a competent game. It's a popular game. Again, not my cup of tea. I try them, I play them for a little while. They do kind of engage me for a bit, and then I'm just like, let me play something that's a little bit more first person or third person, something that puts me into the game a little bit more. I always feel like detached, like I'm just watching gameplay instead of actually engaging with it. All right, this is a Bomberman game. I am a Bomberman fan, but this is not a very good version of the game. It's another attempt at 3D'ing of this game, and this is a game that should really stay in the second dimension. Bomberman is a two-dimensional game. It's always been a two-dimensional game. They always try to like tart it up and throw it. All you need to do is more 2D environments, more interesting places and mechanics within the 2D scape, and just leave it 2D. Stop messing with Bomberman. Stop trying to bring Bomberman into the third dimension. It doesn't work. Leave Bomberman where it's at. Again, the best Bomberman game I think ever, and that I've ever played, is Bomberman S on the Sega Saturn. 10-person in-person multiplayer. You can do 10-person multiplayer in Bomberman S on the Sega Saturn, and it is one of the best Bombermans ever. Full motion video cartoon in the beginning, and it's great. Bomberman S on the Sega Saturn, the best Bomberman ever made, and it's all 2D sprites, and it's just beautiful and hilarious. All right, the Banner Saga. Again, a lot of people are ravenous about this and the story. This is the Banner Saga trilogy. And again, this is not something you would typically see. There's a map and other paper swag in here. There's like other stuff in here. Let's see. Yeah, see, there's like other gimmicky stuff in there, but it's a really good-looking presentation. Wait a minute, somebody just popped into my chat. I just noticed somebody just popped into my chat. Anyway, Banner Saga trilogy. I just picked it up because it was inexpensive. And it is it's a very well, by those people that like this, it's a very well-loved, story-driven, kind of reminds me of A Song of Ice and Fire and, you know, all of that. So, all right, next, Red Dead Redemption. Now, I got to tell you, you're going to hate my guts for anybody that paid big money for this thing. But again, you always find it cheaper. The map is in there. It's totally complete. I picked this up for $10. $10. So, I mean, this is a lot of gaming for $10, brother. $10. Wow. I gave you the wow face. Wow. Okay. So, don't let that become a meme. Wow. Okay? So, yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2, mature title, Rockstar, one of the greatest games ever made, one of the biggest games of this generation and the next generation, but this generation in particular, this has got to be one of the top three games of this generation, okay? And I picked it up for $10, totally complete. Yikes! Another one, let me see what Virtua Bros. Virtua Bro! Hey, man. Oh, I love Bomberman on the... Yeah! Yeah! That's the ultimate Bomberman. How about Night Striker? You remember Night... Oh, my God, it's Tylord! It's Tylord. What do you guys... Do you guys have, like, a secret base of cool motherfuckers that you're like, Toro's on. Are you on? I'm on. Anyway, let's see. I always... when he accidentally blows up the entire world. Bomberman on the Sega Saturn. Bomberman S on the Sega Saturn is the best Saturn ever made. There's also, I don't know if you know about Night Striker on the Sega Saturn. I own that too. But Night Striker S, it's Night Striker S on the Sega Saturn, and it is the best home console version, and if you ask me, it's the best version even over the arcade of Night Striker. And Night Striker is one of my favorite cabs back in the day, because you used to sit down in the cabinet of Night Striker and it has this kind of a jet plane control, and you would it was just cool, and the sound was coming from behind. And Night Striker on the Sega Saturn, it's called Night Striker S, actually has additional levels that are not found in any other version. So like Bomberman S and Night Striker S are like the best versions of those games. I mean, and Bomberman S, I'll sit down right now and play Bomberman S for 10 hours. I love that game. All right, let's see. Toro, Tylord. Let's see. Xbox games. Xbox One games are so dirt cheap. Yeah. We're spooning? Oh, gross. I don't even want to picture that. Watching the stream and chilling while you guys spoon? Oh my God. Yeah, well, you know what? Night Striker, it's funny. Night Striker became... became quite collectible. It's not cheap. I mean, when I picked it up, it was... $48 or 50, around the 50 mark, and I bought it because, you know, what was really sad was like 6 months earlier I'd seen it for like 35 or something, and I hesitated, and I came back to it, and I'm like, it's now like over 50, going into the 60 range, and now I think it's well over the 100. I think it's into the 100, probably under 100, but I'll tell you what, let me look. Let me look. Because I used to be, Saturn collecting was my main collection. Bum, 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 bum. Let's hit eBay real quick and we'll put in Night Striker S. Night Striker Saturn. Of course, it comes right up. Holy shit! Night Striker S, Japanese version by Ving, $134. Here's a copy. Now, wait a minute. Here's a copy. Original case and manual, no game, for 50 bucks. So case and manual, no disc, 50 bucks. Here's one for 110. Here's one sealed for 500 bucks. Here's very good condition, which is not sealed, 172. Night Striker S, 130. Night Striker S, 115, 129, 129. Shit! So, wow. I picked it up for under 50 bucks. And I was glad to have it. We're spooning. Yeah, that makes me laugh every time I read it. Oof. Yeah, oof. I mean, just get coin ops and play the cabinet, but that one cowboy game on Saturn is way better. Oh, really? He's like, I'd rather play the Saturn than Red Dead Redemption. All right, so the next one in this stack is Murdered Soul Suspect. I just closed this out, and it is a very entertaining play. It's a very good play. I highly recommend it. It doesn't take that long. You can get through it in a couple of days, couple sessions, maybe 3 sessions or 4 sessions at the max. But if you want to explore, and I found everything. I found all the hidden everything, all the hidden pieces and the stories and the whatever this had to offer. I found it all. I got all the platinums, or the diamonds or whatever you want to call them. But yeah, I mean, this is a really, really worthy title. I really like that. I own it for the 360. I own it for the PS3. And this is I wanted to play it on the Xbox One. This game is not backwardly compatible. You have to have this disc. So I saw this out in the world, and I forget what I paid. It was $5 or $10. $5 or $10, yeah. But like, that's the point of this whole video right now is Xbox One, start collecting now, man. Because it's going to dry up. And you don't have to get everything. You don't have to get this kind of stuff. But if there's something that you know that is relatively obscure or that you're interested in, and the Xbox One has it, you can pick it up cheap right now. Pick it up super cheap. All right, here we go. Shadow of Mordor. Okay, great game. I played it on the system. It's fantastic. I love it, and I want to go back to it really soon. I think it just has a great atmosphere and great gameplay. Love the Nemesis system, although that kicks your ass sometimes. That guy comes and finds your ass, and then he'll just, you think you're a god, and all of a sudden they've powered him up or you've lost to him a couple of times, and that can be a ball buster. I like that, though. That's fun. All right. Cinemora EX. It's a good shooter. It's entertaining. It's unique. Highly recommended. There's not that many shooters on the Xbox One. This is probably one of the top 2 or 3 in terms of popularity on the system. I would totally pick it up. Sniper Elite. I played this on this system, Sniper Elite 3 Ultimate Edition, and it was great. I played it all the way through. Totally enjoyed it. Disney Infinity. Sunset Overdrive. It's everywhere. It's cheap as shit. This is a sealed copy. I don't care to unseal it. It's very much like a knockoff of Infamous, basically. Whatever. It's an early. It was the only early release title. It's like, oh, it's day one. Yeah, it's all you had on release, baby. It was a rough release. This is Transformers Devastation. It's sealed. As I understand it, I have never played this, but I understand this is quite a good Transformer game. Tales from the Borderlands. Okay, this is sealed. I have this game on multiple systems. so I leave it sealed. Attack on Titan. I have played this. Again, this is an obscure title. Part 2 is on Xbox One, and I will wind up getting it. But this is one of these obscure titles that it's Koei Tecmo. It's going to become rare. This is going to become collectible. That is my prediction. Attack on Titan. It's nichey. It's anime. It plays well. It's unique. It's got some cool mechanics in there from the series. And I'm an Attack on Titan fan. I don't have the manual, but I know it's barely a manual anymore. It's just like a freaking slip in there. Shadow Warrior. This is hilarious. It is a gorgeous game. It is very tongue-in-cheek, but it is very efficient. It's kind of like Postal, or it's got a really adult sense of humor. So I highly recommend Shadow Warrior. It's hilarious and it's fun. It's fun as hell. It looks great too. All right, The Crew. The Crew. It's a great racing game. Off-road, a lot of fun. This is a sealed copy. It's the Wild Run edition. It's another sealed Xbox One game that I just find out in the wild, and I'm paying sometimes even less than $5, but this is a $5 game. Ghost Recon Wildlands. I really wanted to try this. I haven't played it yet. I will. Again, this is another game that I understand is time-consuming, and I don't want to throw an entire afternoon because I've got things that are ahead of it. But, I know that Breakpoint was a complete train wreck and a shit show. I understand that Wildlands, after it's been patched and fixed and all the rest of it, is actually quite good, and a lot of people enjoy it. I know that there's a few YouTubers I know that, despite its flaws, still enjoy this game. Let's see what we got here. Do you think it's worth buying physical for PS4 and Xbox One? The games aren't even on the disc, 90% of them. Yeah, I know. I've often thought about, particularly with this generation, the entire game isn't on the disc. It's just a license. I mean, there might be elements of the game. There might be, there's like a launcher. To be honest, what you're getting on the disc is a game launcher. And then you download the game proper because you have the credential of the physical copy. I still say that entitles you to greater rights. It's a hair splitter, man. Eventually it's going to go all digital. They want it to go all digital. They'll be saving the environment and et cetera, et cetera. It's going to go that way. So what I'm trying to say is collect physical media as long as you can, because it's just not going to be, except for boutique outlets like Limited Run. Limited Run will still come out for physical swag for a particular market. And if there's money in it, the big game companies will do it as well. As long as there's money in it, they'll continue to produce that. Okay, that's just how corporations run. They'll try, they want to get you out of the physical media, but you're right. There is no genuine game on there. You're just buying a launcher with credentials that allow you to access the regular game. In some cases, but the real big games, no, they can't put it on one disc. All right, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, probably one of my favorite Call of Duties. I love this campaign, and it is visually stunning. It is gorgeous. It is a beautiful game. It is hilariously fun. Yes, they take control away from you and do a cinematic and all that stuff that's a little irritating instead of just continuous gameplay. But still, it is a visual feast for the eyes, and I love the space combat. I love the fighters, space fighter combat. It's great. So I love that Call of Duty, man. I think Infinite Warfare is great. I'll play through that again. That might be like once a year I play through that one. Doom Eternal, one of the greatest games ever created. The original Doom I like better. I like Doom 2016 better than I like Doom Eternal. I don't like all the platforming and all that stuff like that and the scaling and stuff. It does kind of, it does take it into another direction. Does it break it out of its mold? Yeah. Does it allow for some interesting mechanics and things? Yeah. But it's a gorgeous game. It's a groundbreaker. It's one of the best games ever created. Boom. I said it. Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs on the Xbox One. It is a remaster or an upscaled version of Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs is a visual, beautiful game. It is a fun game. It's an unsung open world game. It has a lot of side quests and interesting things to do. So Sleeping Dogs, I'd have to say that is something that should sneak into your collection. It's just this quiet hit. There are people that everybody that ever talks about this game loves this game, but it is just doesn't generate the energy that a lot of the other games, excitement that a lot of other games do. But it's worthy of it. It's very good. Sleeping Dogs. Elder Scrolls Online. I don't do it. Oh my God, that game collector. Hola, brother. Okay, let's see. Army Men on Saturn is way better. Oh, okay. That game collector likes Sleeping Dogs. Well, yeah, it's a very competent game. It's a very good game. Very story driven. Got a lot of personality. It's beautiful to look at too, especially the upscaled version. Yeah. Anyway, Elder Scrolls Online Gold Edition. I don't know. I paid something like $5 for this thing. It's on Game Pass. Again, that's a time eater. Like, I don't have time for that. Like MMOs, I don't have time for MMOs. I really don't. People that do MMOs, if they work a job, they're like losing sleep over that shit. You know, you can't maintain a clan or gameplay, you know, at that depth. I mean, you have to be awake like 20 hours a day to live a life and play an MMO. I just don't do MMOs anymore. I just don't. I played them for a while, but Sleepy Dogs is way more ambitious than I expected. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's base. Good combat. No, I haven't tried that yet. It's getting a lot of hype though. It's getting a lot of hype. What do you think about it? You tell me, bro. Lego Jurassic World, just great. I picked this up at Goodwill for next to nothing. World War Z, I picked this up. I thought, okay, I'm going to like this. It's like, I'd rather play Left 4 Dead than World War Z, to be honest. World War Z did not blow me away. It just did not blow me away. I'm like, well, this is a Left 4 Dead clone. It's clunkier than Left 4 Dead. I'd rather play Left 4 Dead. So, Nickelodeon Kart Racers, do not waste your time or money. I only paid a few bucks for that. It's junk. Rise Son of Rome, again, a release title between this and Sunset Overdrive. This is basically what you had to play at the beginning of the life of the Xbox One. I played it recently, probably about 3 months ago. I said, you know what? I want to see what it's like. I don't like the control scheme that much. It is a good game, though. It's visually beautiful. It's an interesting title. It plays pretty good. The siege at the beginning, where, you know, the city's under siege, it's cool. It's epic. I mean, it's interesting. So it's a worthy title, but I mean, I don't know. It's okay. It's okay. All right, what do we got in the chat? We got people going back and forth in this chat. It's good it's on Game Pass. It's Destiny meets Gears of War, set in like a Defiance universe. There are a lot of great Saturn games for the Xbox, though. That's a big reason why I like the console. I need to download Fighting Vipers. Yeah, I have Fighting Vipers. Yeah, well, Fighting Vipers is great. I like Fighting Vipers a lot. That game has a lot of swag. I own the original one for the Saturn. All right, Mutant League Football, great. I mean, it's cool. That's always been a really fun game back in the Genesis generation. Guitar Hero Live. I've got the guitars, the whole thing. Kingdom Hearts 3. Again, pick this up for next to nothing. This is definitely not up my street. I'm not a big Kingdom Hearts Disney guy. You know, what a shock. So there you go. Kingdom Hearts 3. I picked so much of this collection up for next to nothing. Xbox One is cheap as shit. And again, it's like one of those things where if you have an Xbox One, you know, it's a lot of times it's the cheapest alternative, and they look fantastic. So, and now I have an Xbox One X. It's like they look even and play even better. So it's like, wow, man. I like the Xbox One. All right, I'll just grab this one off. Cyberpunk. Be honest, this is one of my favorite games. Is Cyberpunk 2077. I love this game. I think it's a great game. I haven't seen what's going on with the latest patch, but I'm curious to jump back in because my system just downloaded the updated patch. So I want to jump in and see what's going on. But I don't care. I mean, on the Xbox Series X, it's playing just fine. I mean, yeah, there's glitches. Yeah, there's twins walking around. I may do an episode of just the twins that I see in the game. I take a picture every time I see a set of twins, and now I got like 150 pictures of freaking twins in Cyberpunk. And I love it. It makes me laugh because you'll go up to like a food stand, like there's all these like food stands in Cyberpunk, and the guy serving will be giving food to his twin. Or there'll be two twins at the food station getting food. I freaking love it, you know. And again, the jank actually wins me over in that game. I think that's the point. Like sometimes games have jank where you're just like ready to put the controller into the drywall, and then other games it's just like, oh, bro, that's hilarious. Oh man! All right, what is this? This is I have a second copy. I have got a duplicate. I actually have a duplicate copy in this collection. Let me see if I can find it. What's it look like? Call of Duty. Yeah, there's a go. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Let's see. Is this one complete or is it? Oh. We're having a technical problem on... Okay, there you go. All right. Oh, Call of Duty. This one is Modern Warfare Remaster. Oh, so these are different editions. That's why I've got two. This one is the Legacy Edition and it comes with Modern Warfare Remastered, and this is the regular edition. So that's why I have two. All right, and I love that game. Bully, it's sealed, and I'm going to leave it sealed. I have this game for multiple systems, including the Wii. And then Just Cause 3, I've never played a Just Cause game. I understand Just Cause 2 is very good, but I've never played... Oh, yeah, the Win the Island. Remember the Win the Island promotion? I remember that. Just Cause 3, Win a Free Island, or whatever like that. I thought that was a cool promotion. But yeah, I've never played any of these. I mean, it's just like 2 or 3. And I know they're funny, and I know that you can do wild shit like put a rocket on a cow. And, you know, I know you can do some wild shit in these games. So I definitely want to try it. I kind of like the revolutionary vibe to it as well. But anyway, let me see. What do we got here? I need to download. I love Cyberpunk, that game collector. You and I are on the same page with that. I love that game. That game has gotten such a bad rap for absolutely no reason. I don't know what the backlash was for that game in particular. I think like people were a little bit like thinking that CD Projekt was like getting a little jumped up. I think they did bite off a little bit more than they could chew for release. I think the game did need another year, and they should have just been honest and came out and said, this is not going to be optimized. We're going to release it for mainly for PC. You can buy it, but it's going to be a year until we can fully optimize it. I think they should have been honest about it without the prevarication that they got up to. But that being said, Cyberpunk is one of my favorite games of all time. I love that game. I can't wait to get back into it. And I want to close it. I haven't closed it yet. I keep closing all the side quests and all that stuff because I don't want it to end. But then again, I want to begin a new, because you could just fart around for hours in Cyberpunk. It is just such a beautiful world, like an open world. It's just great. I love it. So anyway, I can't say enough. Let's see. He likes playing Street Fighter with me. Aww. Yeah, I would. Wow, seems like just yesterday he was. Oh, okay. We're doing kid stuff. That's awesome. Did anybody really win an island? I don't know. Again, sometimes those sweepstakes get real quiet at the end. Yeah, it is kind of a meh issue for me too. Although I crash far more than you're crashing, it's not that big of a deal. So if I play 3 hours, okay, a good 3-hour session, you know what I'm saying? A good 3-hour session, then I might have 2 crashes in that time, like crash to desktop, and you're always at that save area, like you don't really lose anything. So it's just, you have to just go like reload back in, and it's just like, it's okay. It's a minor inconvenience for a game that size and a game that cool. Who cares? You know? Yeah, PS5. I bet PS5 runs that thing like a monster. Yes. All right, now last stack of the entire Xbox One collection. Mass Effect Andromeda. Never played it. I picked it up for like a couple of bucks. You know, I've never played it. I own it. Titanfall 2, one of the most underrated campaigns. I played very recently, probably about 3 months ago. I played through the entire Titanfall 2 campaign. Doesn't take that long. But wow, what a great campaign. They could come out with Titanfall 3, and if they had another campaign like that, I would be an instantaneous customer. It is a fantastic game. I love it. That campaign was really good. Toro, do you have a PS5? No, I do not. And I'm really looking to pick up a PS4 Pro before I get a PS5. Although you never know, I could pick up. I mean, are they available anywhere at this time? Can you actually like go to Amazon and get a PS5 yet? Let's see. Let's pop in Amazon and see like the #1 retailer on the planet and see if they have any inventory. Let's just say PS5, baby. I don't know if I want a PS5 or an Xbox Series X first. PS5. Yeah, they got one on here for $1,800. Nope, can't buy it yet. Let's look at Xbox Series X. Xbox Series X. Nope. Xbox Series X. Currently unavailable. It's like, it's like, that's why I don't even mess with it in the first year. I don't even mess with it. I don't even worry about it. I don't stress. I just put some money aside and I'm like, whenever they get, and you know what? A lot of times they'll like, especially this summer, they may come out with a special price edition or a unique edition this summer because it's summertime, baby. See, that's why they're holding all the inventory back. They're holding the inventory back. They're waiting for the summer. And when the summer releases, they'll come out with like some kind of a special price point Sometimes you save 50, sometimes even more. You get an extra controller, or you get a unique look to it. They'll put out a collector's edition of some kind. Remember when they did the PS4 Gold Edition one summer for $250? I should have bought that. I missed out. I really should have got that. It was just a regular PS4, but was gold with a gold controller for $250. Summer promotion. That was about 2 years after launch. I mean, so a lot of times there's some really cool deals if you wait. I want a Poly Mega. Yeah! That thing's massive. All right. One of my favorite games of this generation, The Sinking City. It's beautiful on Xbox One. You can now get all the content. There were some legal problems initially with the developer and the publisher, but those have been resolved, and you can now get all the DLC, which there isn't a lot, but there's some DLC for The Sinking City, and I played through this game entirely and played through the DLC entirely. I highly recommend The Sinking City. Love this game. And this game has about as much jank as Cyberpunk. Very similar in that regard. It's got like similar level of little bit of jank here and there, but it's not a big deal. Mutant League Football, right? Covered that. Gears of War 4. I liked it. 21 Kiloton thought this was junk. I don't know why. He gets really up on his high horse about like microtransactions and loot boxes and this kind of stuff, but I like Gears 4. I played through it. I love it. I've played through every Gears game, and I've closed them multiple times, and I really enjoy the Gears series, and I enjoyed this one. This is The Police. This is not a game you'll see often. This might be a game. There's also a sequel to it, but this might be a collectible game at some point in time where you get to be a cop, you get to be the chief of police, and you can either engage in corruption and politics and cover up misdeeds, and you can work both sides of the street or stay on the straight and narrow, but either way you're going to pay a price for whatever you do, and it's really an interesting game. I've actually played this for quite a while. It really pulled me in, and it's complete strategy. It's got a very 90s, like early 90s graphical style, like low poly, and it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool, man. I enjoyed This Is the Police, and there is a sequel called This Is the Police 2, and I recommend you at least try it. It's a cheap game. It's cheap as hell. So if you want to check out This Is the Police, I recommend it. It's more like a puzzle strategy game, though. Just Dance. Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. I love this game. Bulletstorm is one of my favorite games of all time, and this is a genius edition where you can play as Duke Nukem. And I did play through it, and they break the fourth wall constantly, and he's like, I'm not even supposed to be in this game. And he is hilarious. He's cracking jokes the whole time. And I'm a fan of Duke. I mean, I know he's a misogynist, and I know he's just like, every bad 80s trope ever. But that's what makes him great. And this whole game is just beautiful, visually stunning, incredibly entertaining to play. Bulletstorm is one of my favorite games of all time. If you've never played Bulletstorm, you are missing out on something special. You can get this edition for next to nothing. Next to nothing. Booyah. One Piece Burning Blood. I picked this up for a real cheap at a pawn shop. I have not played this yet. It's basically a One Piece fighter. I think I did pop it in and give it a shot, but it's a crazy, frenetic fighter. It's fun. Again, this is going to be a rare, obscure title. This one is probably going to be collectible. See, there are games on the Xbox One that are a little bit edgier, that are kind of in that niche genre, that are going to be collectible going forward. But like, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is never going to be collectible on the Xbox One. But something like this might be. Rocksmith Remastered. I have this for multiple. This holds its value too. It's a very good guitar instruction system. I have the cable. I have this game. I have a 360 and PS3. and they're very collectible. If you look up these Rocksmith remastered guitar training courses, they hold their value. They're quite they're not cheap. They're some of them are quite expensive. So, just a little, just a little thing there. All right, Beast Quest, no clue. No clue. Maximum Games, Beast Quest, picked it up for under $5. Just regular. I have no clue what's going on with that. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, it's totally complete. I picked this up for $10. It's got the map, it's got the book. One of the biggest games, along with Red Dead Redemption, I think one of the top 3 games of this generation was The Witcher 3. I actually did pop it in for a little bit. For some reason, the gameplay just does not capture me. Like, I played The Witcher 2 more than I played this one. I like The Witcher 2 better for some reason, but it's beautiful to look at, yes. It's that third person and talk to this person and play cards here and there, and it has a lot of atmosphere. I understand why people like this. If they made a Witcher theme park, people would be lining up. I get it. Okay, it's kind of like Harry Potter in that way. It's got like this culty following where a lot of people love it, and it's the atmosphere and the aesthetic. I don't know. It just did turn me on, really. I don't know why. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, yes. Bulletstorm, yes. Titanfall 2, yes. Murdered Soul Suspect, yes. But one of the biggest games of the year, I'm just like, okay, The Division. I played this for a little bit. Again, did not grab me by the short hairs in any part of my body. It's okay. I like the winter aesthetic in New York. That was kind of nice. I don't know what to say about this. It's like, to me, the story is a little bit nebulous. It's just like you're this part of this group. You're housed in the population. Then we alert you, and then there's this crisis, and you're just going to go run around and deal with people. And it didn't carry me along. I'm like, oh, where do I go? Well, do I go here and do that? Okay, for what purpose? It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's so open. It's too open. Maybe I need a little linearity to feel engaged. But this is just like walk around. Oh, there's a guy in that building. You got to go kill him. And okay. I would rather play Homefront: The Revolution. Like, if you give me a choice, because they're very similar in ways. If you gave me a choice between The Division and Homefront: The Revolution, I will pick Homefront: The Revolution every single time. It's like, clear this area. You've got very specific missions. You see the results of the changes in the terrain and in the populace, and it's more impactful and engaging to me than The Division. It's a competent game. It's a popular game. Homefront: The Revolution. I'm telling you, if you like The Division, you should play Homefront: The Revolution. You'll love that. All right, what do we got in the chat? I've not been keeping up with this thing. VR, yeah. I had the gold one. Did you? Yeah, it was a slim. That thing was a great deal. $250 for a gold with a gold controller, a PlayStation 4. That's freaking genius, bro. That was a genius promotion. I can't believe I didn't find the money to get that. What? He would get me. Oh, okay. Toro, what are your thoughts on collecting physical media on today's consoles compared to PS3 era and earlier? I think the time to collect, particularly for the PS4, is right now. I think you're going to start seeing generations like Xbox, PS2, Xbox 360, and PS3, they're going to start drying up out there. I've been noticing they've been drying up for the most part. The Wii is still kind of out there a lot because it's the Wii, and they just massive print runs. And again, one of the collections I'm thinking about getting rid of is the Wii. I want to take my top 50 of the Wii and get rid of the rest of it for that game collector, because a lot of it is just shit. It's just casual. It's junk games. It's educational. It's a lot of junk to it. So to be honest, if you're going to collect for the PS4, Xbox One, particularly PS4, I don't know if there's a big future in collecting for the Xbox One. I don't know if there's a big future in it. There's a few titles out there that I think, because they're edgy and they're niche-y, like the One Piece game I showed you, or Attack on Titan, stuff like that. Those are outliers, and you should pick up the outliers. Again, One Piece. Get One Piece on Xbox One. Get Attack on Titan 1 and 2, or This Is the Police 1 and 2. These are niche games that are going to become rare. They're low prints. They're going to become rare on the Xbox One. The PS4 is such a treasure trove right now, and I'm watching the prices drop. I mean, games that I was looking at on the PS4 a couple months ago that were $40 are now $20. There's a lot of $19.99 price points out there for PS4. And PS4 is backward compatible with the PS5. So they're going to continue to have value. They're going to continue to have value, and they're going to start drying up. As those prices drop and people start acquiring them, if it's a niche game like Deathmark, or survival horror like White Day, or it's like a niche game where it's out there for $19.99 or $15.99 or something like that, start acquiring them. Some of the games that also, like some of the fan service stuff, PlayStation is beginning to censor fan service. So Kanagawa Jet Girls was one of the first ones they censored. That just came out a couple months ago. Start picking them up, because I've noticed the prices have dropped on them, like Segura, or Senran Kagura, Galgun. These are falling down into the $20 price point, and you should pick them up because they're going to become rare, and they're being censored. So it's not in PlayStation's interest to continue to give you access to those titles if they're censoring, this kind of stuff. So the time is now, if you're going to get in on those kind of things, and keep your eye on PlayStation 4 titles you'd like to pick up. And when it hits that price point where you're like, okay, I can't not pick it up for $15.99 or $19.99, 2-day ship from Amazon. And Amazon is going to start getting rid of a lot of their inventories. As the new game system comes up, they're just going to mark that shit down and roll it out. So, as far as collecting for older systems, I think I'm going to slow down on some of the older systems, start trimming my collections down, and start focusing on PS4. Not so much Xbox One, to be honest. I love that system, but I don't see a lot of what's here becoming collectible. Some of it, yes. Some of it is just naturally going to become collectible, but it's not going to be anywhere near like some of the really cool titles and limited run games and stuff that's on the PS4. You really need to look at the PS4 right now. So I hope I hit the nail on the head on that one. I don't know. Homefront was great. It was. It's an awesome game. PS3 is already dried up here. Yeah, see, PS3. Now, let me say this about PS3. I'm going to continue to collect for the PS3 because I love the PS3. And there are some titles on the Xbox 360 that I still want. but you're going to see me focusing on PS3, Xbox 360, and PS4. That's going to be my focus, because PS3 is going through the roof, man. If you can get PS3 anything, it's going to be kind of like that. It's going to be kind of like that. Like GameCube, I just collect GameCube when I find it. If I find a GameCube game, I buy it. It's just like, I'm not really hunting GameCube. I'm not trying to buy the rare GameCube titles. I think Switch is going to be a lot like PS4, because they're going to be coming out with a new iteration of the Switch. You need to look at those potentially rare Switch games. I don't own a Switch yet. I'm probably going to pick one up this week, though. I think Amazon's got a starter kit for like $2.99. I mean, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. So, and I've been seeing them out there in the pawn shops, and they're like pretty beat up for like $199, $249. If you're going to pay $249 at a pawn shop for a Switch, just get the starter kit for $50 more. It's brand new. I don't get that. But anyway, let me finish this up. I'm almost done. Troll. I have no clue. It's an early title. I see it everywhere. Don't ask me about Troll. Shenmue 1 and 2. And I hate to say this about Shenmue. Don't care about Shenmue. With all due respect to Adam Karolek, who is the greatest Shenmue fan. There's the poster. Greatest Shenmue fan ever. I think the Shenmue thing, everybody realized after the hype died down that, oh, this is kind of boring. And it is. Shenmue's kind of boring, I'm sorry, it is. It's cool. It was cool back in the day because it was a technological breakthrough. But nowadays, this game is just kind of like, I mean, if somebody told me, do I want to fill out like a mortgage application or play Shenmue, I'd be like, okay, Shenmue, okay, you win. All right, the original Titanfall. It's a great multiplayer game. Never played it. I love Titanfall 2's campaign. That's it. And Abzu. Abzu's pretty cool. See, this is a game that's probably going to be collectible on the Xbox One. It's niche-y. It's little print run. It's not a huge multiplat. It's a multiplat game, but it's not like a blockbuster hit. It's not a Red Dead Redemption or any of that. Dragon Ball FighterZ. This, of course, will be valuable. So I have some valuable titles, or titles that will become valuable, in my Xbox One collection, but it's not a system that I think is going to be a watershed for collectability. The PS3 is a watershed of collectability. All right, there you go. Dragon Ball FighterZ, totally complete. Again, I found this for like $10. I got this super cheap. And Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. It's kind of weird talking about this game on an Xbox system. There you go. Have never played it. Although I'm very curious about Whisper. I think Whisper is her name. It's like, oh my God, bro. Wow. Hideo Kojima, thank you, sir. Anyway, so that is my 66. Oh, you know what I forgot? Starlink. Every time I see the name, I think of something like that, like Starlink, Anyway, I got this for $6. Nobody gives a shit about this thing. And I actually bought this at a GameStop. They had this thing priced up at like $20 or I think it was $15.99. And I said, what do you want for that? He goes, $15.99. He's like, He goes, give me $6. And he's like, nobody cares about it. He goes, ever since like the Switch version came out, nobody cares about Starlink on the Xbox. So I'm like, for $6, it's totally complete. Go ahead and give it to me. Totally unopened Starlink. That's not going to be worth shit, Come on, man. It'll be worth $6 5 years from now, maybe, Maybe it'll be worth 10. So that's it. That's my Xbox One. That's my Xbox One joint. I'm going to do a PS4. I'm probably not going to do it right after this one. I'm going to take a little break and make a sandwich. I've been working in the studio and I've been running around all day, and I know I'm like fat as shit. I'm like big boy, but I haven't had anything to eat all day, and my blood sugar is like crashing like a rock. So I'm getting a blood sugar headache. I got to like stop eat an egg or something. So there's some really great gaming in here. It's a great little collection. But it's like between Game Pass, the digital Game Pass, and Xbox 360 games on the backward compatibility, it's like I spend a lot of time playing Game Pass and Xbox 360 titles on the Xbox One, and very little time spending mainline party titles on Xbox One. But it's great though, because you kind of like, you get all three. You get the game service, you get the backward compatibility, and then you get first party, big multi-plat titles too. So, and there's a little bit of niche, like we talked about that. There's a little bit of nichiness in there, but it's rare. It's few and far between, man. So, let me catch up with the chat, and then I'm going to be signing off here soon. Yes, finally. Do you think it's still worth collecting physical media for PS4 and beyond? Yes. You said that to the wrong guy. the Shenmue? Oh, yeah. Well, that's okay. I like one of my favorite YouTubers. He's an inspiration to me, is Adam Karolik, and he is a die-hard. He like had like a jacket made, like the like he went and he had a jacket made in China that's like the Shenmue jacket. And I mean, he was a major promoter of Shenmue 3 on Kickstarter. And they gave him like special gifts because he promoted it so well. And I mean, he is one of my favorite YouTubers. I think he's a great old school gamer. He has a complete Dreamcast collection, and his favorite system of all time is the Dreamcast, and his favorite game of all time is Shenmue, the original Shenmue. So he's a die-hard guy, and I love his channel. But I just don't get excited about Shenmue. I just don't. You guys can hunt me down and kill me for it. That's fine. That's how I want to die. I want you guys to kill me over Shenmue. It's actually fun once it clicks. Right. Watch Dave's video on Shenmue. Okay. He never played the new Metal Gear. Nobody wanted Earthbound back then either. Virtua Bros, I apologize for my insulting your honor about Shenmue. Do you remember that day? That day when Toro insulted Shenmue? I see him hanging with sailors. Do you know where the sailors hang out? There you go. There's my Shenmue tribute. Video's called Why Shenmue Was Always Good. I'm going to watch that. I am not kidding you. I am going to go and fix some food for myself and chill out for a little bit. And I am going to watch your video, Why Shenmue Was Always Good. I'm going to watch it right now. I'm going to comment on your video. I'm going to like your video. All right. And I'm going to just lick the video. I'm going to lick your video, bro. Shenmue. Anyway. All right. Oh, I figured you guys wouldn't take it personal, man. I figured, like, I own it. Man. And I could have picked it up in a bargain bin, the original one. Like in a bargain bin. I remember seeing Shenmue in a bargain bin of Dreamcast games when that system died for like $1. For like $1. I wish I had. I regret not picking that up. I really do. So I will see you very soon. Why Shenmue Was Always Good. Hold on one second. Because I mainly watch YouTube on my phone. Hold on one second, bro. And then we'll close this bad boy down. But don't hate me for it, bro. Don't hate me. Don't hate me for that. Why Shenmue was always good. You come right up in the search. And there you are. Why Shenmue was always good. I got it pulled up. I'm ready to go, bro. This has been El Viejo Toro, dedicating this stream to Shenmue and Virtua Bro and Ty Lord Stevenson and everybody else in the chat. Even that game collector who loves it when I stick my foot in my mouth. But I am channeling that game collector's advice. I'm going to trim this shit down and I'm going to focus on the good shit. This has been El Viejo Toro, the Fancy Action Now. Love you guys. Peace.